With AI voices popping up everywhere, is the voiceover industry dead? In the next few minutes, I'll show you why the voiceover industry isn't shrinking, it's growing, and why no matter your age, accent, or experience, you can carve out a profitable place in it. And this video is part encouragement, part roadmap, because if you've ever been on the fence about VO, this could be your year to start. So we're going to talk about accessibility in the industry, global opportunities, niches, the content explosion, and yes, what to do about AI. So let's start with the accessibility of voiceover work. VoiceOver is still one of the most accessible online businesses that you can start. What do I mean by that? Well, all ages can get into this industry. We're even talking about kids. Just like there are child actors, there are child voice actors as well, all the way up to senior citizens and even the elderly. All voices at all ages sound unique and different. So all ages can access this industry. All backgrounds can access this industry, and it's really something for anyone who has the skills. There's also not a need for broadcast perfect pipes, vocal cords anymore. There used to be a time then that was the thing. You had to have that quintessential radio and announcer voice and be very professional. Be someone like me who has, if you're a woman, has a deeper tone to their voice. Today, while that can be desirable for some projects, natural voices are totally in. Clients and corporations want the girl next door, boy next door, real person kind of sound. So natural sounding voices that aren't overly affected by formal training is totally in. It's also accessible because there's a low startup cost when you consider the investments needed to start a voiceover business compared to kicking off other types of entrepreneurial endeavors. Basically, your startup costs, the most expensive things are going to be your microphone and just the equipment that you need in your home recording studio. And we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you a resource for that more in a minute if you haven't yet started to put your equipment together. But relatively speaking to other types of businesses, the startup cost and investment at the beginning is relatively low. It's also a very accessible business because of the flexibility. You can work anywhere in the world as long as you have internet. Take me, for instance. I have my home recording studio, but that doesn't mean that I can't pack up my portable professional mic and my laptop and toss it into my carry-on bag and travel if I needed to, and set up kind of a quick and easy recording space in a hotel room if I'm traveling, if an emergency situation comes up that a client needs something right then and there. I'm able to do that from anywhere in the world as long as I have my microphone, as long as I have a laptop and a good internet connection. The great thing is all of this accessibility is not just local. This isn't just a USA or North America type of thing. This is a global opportunity. Clients are out there worldwide. You are not limited to just your city. Now, back when I started in voiceover, actually back when I started in broadcasting, which was a couple of decades ago, yes, it was much more localized. You had to live in New York. You had to live in LA and be able to travel to physical professional recording studios, book with producers directly, those types of things. Now you can reach clients anywhere from wherever you are. So I am here in the United States, but I have clients in Canada, in Germany, in Holland, in the UK, in Turkey, in India. I have clients all over the world because of the wonders of technology. And so your clients are global, not just local. Also, the multilingual demand in voiceover is rising. While yes, there is a huge demand for English voiceover, if you are multilingual, whether you're first language is a language other than English, or if you are an English speaker but also have the skills to speak fluently and conversationally in other languages, you can market all of those languages because clients are looking for voice actors and voiceover artists in all of those languages. Also, going along with that, accents and regional dialects can be a total superpower for you. They are even more marketable skills. So if you have specific accents that you do really well or specialize in or even have for yourself, if you know a niche dialect in a certain language, those are individual skills that you can market. And even if you think that your voice isn't really a kind of voiceover standard, don't sweat it, because there's probably a client who wants exactly that, something that doesn't sound like everything else. And hey, if you're worried that you're not going to fit in, you'd actually be surprised at how many voiceover niches are actually out there that you could find something for you to specialize in. There really are a wide range of niches. I'm going to list some just off the top of my head here, just to scratch the surface. There's commercials, there's audiobooks, there's animation and gaming, there's e-learning, there's corporate training. The list goes on, believe me, and I'm actually going to give you something to give you a closer look at all of the niches that you can explore in just a few minutes, so stick around for that. The great thing is, you don't have to be good at all of them that are out there and available. You just have to find the one or two or three or four where your voice and your vocal style really shines. There is a growing demand for everyday conversational voices, explainer videos. A lot of clients are looking for really simple, clear, and natural reads, not anything that sounds overly produced or too formal or too stiff. And so if you just like to read out loud in your normal voice, you could find a market. And if you're thinking, okay, well, there's probably a lot of these niches that I would be attracted to that are really crowded and competitive, remember, there is now more content being created online at this time and going forward than there ever has been before. We are in the depths of a content explosion. Online content creation is at an all-time high, and it's only accelerating. Brands are understanding how to leverage their online presence, whether it's social media, whether it's their websites. YouTubers are ramping up the game, TikTokers, startup businesses. Everybody out there seems to need a voiceover of some sort. Every single video that a client or company creates, every advertisement, every e-learning course that's out there, even podcasts. Think about how much podcasts have blown up in the last 5 years or so. They all need a voice. And businesses want human voices to stand out from the robotic nature of AI voices. And that's a really important differentiation that we're going to touch on in just a minute. But first, speaking of standing out, I did mention a few minutes ago that one of the ways this industry is still so accessible is the relatively low cost of starting up your business, and that it's basically getting your first beginner's equipment set up. And you do want to make sure that it doesn't hold you back. You want relatively affordable equipment to start out, but you want to sound professional right out of the gate. And there is a happy way to achieve both: affordable equipment that sounds great. To help you with that, I have actually put together a free home studio starter pack for voice actors. It's got all the basics you need to get up and running fast without wasting money on things that don't matter. It's going to give you the 10 pieces of equipment that you really want to aim for when you're first setting up your home studio. It is a free download. I'm going to drop the link for it down below in the description, so be sure to grab your copy. So as I said, clients are wanting those natural, relatable, personal voices over the AI voices that are getting better, but honestly, they're still really flat and kind of soulless. Humans, on the other hand, equal emotion. They equal better timing, improvisation, which AI can't do, and just person-to-person collaborations. Clients don't want to just hire a voice. They want to hire a person who they can direct, who will adapt with their ideas and creativity, and sometimes even someone who they can brainstorm with. People notice the difference between a human voiceover and an AI voice, and they're already getting that robot voice fatigue and wanting to make sure that their voiceovers on their projects stand out as being human and relatable. Now listen, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. AI is going to probably take a lot of the more low-tier voiceover gigs. And while that's not great, it's also not a big deal, because the mid-tier and high-tier jobs are the ones that really rely on a human and personality, and they pay better. And that's why smart voice actors are kind of future-proofing their careers by pivoting towards marketing their voices and gaining the skills needed to outpace the robot voices in AI. I talk even more about this in a recent video where I pose the question, are robots coming to take our voiceover jobs? And I'll leave a card up here. You can click on that and watch that if you want to kind of hear more about the humans versus AI when it comes to voiceover. But we're here today because we're talking about the long-term sustainability of the voiceover industry, and if it's still something you can use to make money online now and going forward. Listen, voiceover has adapted so many times across the decades. First, voiceover was radio. Then this new thing called television came along. Well, voiceover adapted for that. Then this newfangled thing called the internet came along, and voiceover adapted to that. Live streaming on the internet came along. Voiceover adapted to that. Every new piece of technology that comes along creates new voiceover opportunities. And when radio came out, did you think that they could see back then internet and live streaming all those decades down the road? So imagine the technology that's coming in 10, 20, 30 years from now that could be creating new voiceover opportunities that we can't even imagine yet. Basically, as long as humans tell stories, sell products, and teach other people, there's going to be voiceover now that we're in the technology age. Here's an example for you. Audiobooks. Audiobooks are bigger than ever thanks to technology and digital publishing. People are publishing ebooks constantly and realizing they would love to have a really easy to access audio version of their book. And so audiobooks as a voiceover niche have absolutely exploded. And I'll be honest, if this is an area that you think is really appealing, that you'd like to focus in for voice acting and setting up your voiceover business, my recommendation for you, sign up for an Audible membership if you don't already have one. Audible is the audiobook branch of Amazon where you just go in. It's a marketplace for audiobooks. If you don't already have one, get yourself an Audible membership and start sampling audiobooks of all different genres and start to get an idea of the genres that you think that you would be good in for audiobook. Listen to those narrators. Listen to lots of those narrators, just even 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time of those books. Listen to those narrators and start to make notes on the methods that they use to make their storytelling stand out. Make notes for yourself. Here's what I like that this narrator does in this audiobook in this particular genre. Here are the things that they do that I don't like. And that's going to be a way to guide yourself on practicing how to be an audiobook narrator. If you don't have an Audible membership already, usually when you sign up, you can get a little bit of a free trial if you'd like to check it out. I am an Amazon affiliate, so I'm going to leave you a link down below to get an Audible membership so that you can check it out for yourself and try it out. Like I said, usually comes with a free trial, but a paid monthly membership is really reasonable, particularly when you're using it as an investment in your business if you're really serious about narrating audiobooks. Yes, since I am an affiliate, if you do sign up for an Audible membership, I will get a small commission at no extra charge to you. I appreciate your support here on the channel. I will leave that down below. But affiliation aside, having an Audible membership and sampling lots of different types of audiobooks is a great way to start honing in on what you could specialize in as an audiobook narrator. So how can you position yourself for success in the voiceover industry, even if you are just starting out now? Now, as my disclaimer always says, I am simply giving you tips and guidance and advice. I can't guarantee any type of income. You have to put in the effort. It's going to require work. I'm not saying that this is an easy way or a passive income way for you to make money, but it does have so many opportunities, and that's what I want you to focus on and remember. But you have to make it happen yourself. So in order to better position yourself for success in this industry, focus on the niches that AI struggles with. In this day and age, you're looking for things that require character work, lots of emotion, live sessions where a director or producer wants to direct you as you record. Those are all things that AI cannot do. Only a human can. So go after those kinds of niches and those kinds of projects. Also, be sure you sharpen your business skills. Remember, this is a business. If you just want to do this as a hobby and you're not worried about the income, that's great. But just be honest with yourself from the start that that's what you're there to do. If you're looking to build this into a business, you have to treat it like a business. That means, doing your bookkeeping, your accounting, talking to either an accountant or a business lawyer about registering your business, getting serious about client correspondence, getting serious about marketing, all of the things that a business owner needs, you're going to need those as well because you're about to become a business owner. Also be sure to stay adaptable. Voiceover, like we are experiencing right now with the surge of AI voices, voiceover constantly evolves, but it never disappears. And that's what I'm trying to say over and over is that yes, AI voices are threatening portions of the voiceover industry right now, but there's still plenty of work out there and there's work coming. And so you need to continue to be adaptable in this industry. Remember, it's not about being the loudest voice out there. It's about being the most reliable and adaptable one that clients want to come back to work with over and over and over. So is voiceover still worth it today and going forward? Absolutely. I'm still here for it. I'm, adapting and changing and looking forward to what's next. It doesn't mean it's not going to be a challenge. It doesn't mean that there's days that I have my doubts or struggles or have to work on my confidence. But we have to remember that the opportunities coming are going to be bigger, broader, and more human than ever. Voiceover is not going anywhere, and neither should your dream of trying to make it work. Remember how I talked about all of those different genres that you can get into? Well, if you want to dive into the specifics of what those are, I invite you to watch this video next. This is where I break down 20 profitable voiceover genres, and also check out this video, which is 7 ways that I break down for you to find voiceover work right now. These 2 videos are going to help you pinpoint where your voice fits best and how to start building a solid foundation for your voiceover business.